Hey everybody, thanks for joining us.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Totally. We're on a road trip here with Sevenly and Virgin Mobile, fighting youth homelessness crossing the country. Stopped in Denver. Missed you in '09 when I came through.
Yes.
Just spent about an hour here at Sock's place, and this is Doyle.
Hey guys. How's that?
That was great.
There you go.
So, this is just like a big giant living room for homeless kids to come get off the streets. And you started this how many years ago?
11 and a half years ago, 2002.
And you're faith-based, although this isn't really the traditional faith-based.
No, not at
So
all.
tell the story of you being a youth pastor.
I was youth pastor for, or since the late 70s. Loved it, had a great time, really enjoyed it till the last year. And I told my pastor at the time, I said, I want to go out someplace where, they're not at, where the church is not at. And something interesting you brought up in one of our early conversations about reaching the homeless and the poor.
Yeah.
And I said, it's easier. And in a lot of ways it is, because when you've got everything, you don't want to talk to people about your needs. But when you have nothing, then your needs are right up there in front of everybody. So it's easy. But this is what we do. Because we wanted to feel like, I always tell everybody, it was like my sons at home. It was, their friends were always coming, we always had snacks for them, they'd always eat, they were always welcome. And then the early coffee houses of the, you were around then.
Oh yeah,
Late 60s, early 70s, a big Jesus revival they had, the big
well, I wasn't on the Jesus side back
no,
then.
You were on the other side. Yeah.
I'm still riding
I was
the
kind of
fence.
on the fence back then myself. But they did a lot of those, just rented storefronts or old houses, had coffee, live music, and they just talk.
Yeah.
And so pattern after our home, the boys growing up, and those is what we're doing now. Came to Denver, started passing out socks on the 16th Street Mall.
Yeah.
Got the street name Socks, wanted to call it something that the kids would know what of, so we called it Socks Place.
That's perfect.
Not Socks Joint, for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Sock's place.
And then my son thought it was cool to spell it S-O-X.
Yeah. And so what do you see? What do you see here in the kids?
Casey, a good friend of mine, told me this a long time ago, that it's like they're at war with love. It's like they're fighting love, because that's what we have to offer them.
Right.
We don't have programs.
But they have been, love has been so much, they've had hard lives, a lot of trauma.
It's everything that the way I took it from him was that everything that we talk about being love has been bad to them.
Right.
Family, church, society, school, everything. So if they're loved, then the walls come down.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Because as we were talking earlier, you're saying they've had years and years of so much abuse.
Right. The problem is not now.
Right.
That's not the problem. Is not now.
Right.
It's what happened to them when they were born.
Right.
Or what didn't happen to them when they were born.
Right.
When they weren't helped. When they weren't taken care of.
Right.
When again, I always tell our sons, we love you. We're proud of you. You can do anything that you set your mind to, and we're here to help you do it.
Well,
they haven't heard that.
I was just one of the kids that was here.
Yeah.
Was kicked out at 13.
Yeah.
So what's love to them? They're at war and love.
Well, it's like I've always told everybody, they've all been corrected. Correction is not the problem.
Right.
Rules are not the problem.
Right.
But you correct with love.
Yeah.
Our boys, they were corrected. A lot sometimes, but they're always loved.
Yeah.
I spank them with a belt, they cry, I embrace them, I hold them on my lap, and I tell them I love them. No matter what they've done, that doesn't change the way we feel about them at all.
Right.
These kids have not had. So what we try to do here, and it's hard, because they're disrespectful, they're rude, we're still going to love you. We're going to kick you out because you broke the rules, but we're still going to love you. We'll still come back tomorrow. We still love you. And that's what they don't know. They've never had that.
Right. We were talking about travelers coming in and being nicer, but almost like you're too good to be true. It's like
maybe that's what it is. That's okay. We'll be too good to be true. tomorrow.
Because they've been hurt so many times. To trust. Are you for real? You're offering me food, and you don't want me to recite the sinner's prayer?
No.
You know what I mean? You don't want me to go to a Bible study just to eat?
Well, Jordan had that conversation with some of the homeless or some of the travelers. You don't force it at us. You don't judge us. You don't condemn us.
Right.
Now, who are we to do that?
Right. Exactly.
But we'll take the long-term approach to establish a relationship.
Right.
We're going to be here tomorrow, next week, next month, next year.
And
We're
that's the
still gonna
way
be
it
here.
should be. I always say, instead of, and for you faith-based people out there that follow me, you already know this. So I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it until somebody gets it. Instead of trying to get somebody to say a prayer, why don't you be an answer to somebody's prayer?
There you go.
You know what I mean? And this is an answer to somebody's prayer.
Exactly.
You got kids out there that are hungry. They need a place to stay.
Probably
if
a
they're out
grandmother's
there,
prayer too.
You know what I mean? If they're good, if they're out there, they're going to get arrested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get tickets, get a criminal record, try to get a job they can't.
Yeah,
I mean, you know.
exactly.
So, and if you're not faith-based, then you got, you know, kids and travelers and panhandling is an issue. Don't pass laws. Support a sock place.
Yeah.
Because here they're off the streets and they're getting help and they're getting, you know what I mean, some kind of relationship. And it's cheaper. It's cheaper than putting people in jails and everything else. And speaking of which, your lease is up.
Our lease is our lease is
Continuing to be up.
was up almost a year ago.
Yeah.
And we're just fighting to stay on. So everybody talks about they love what we do, just not in their own backyard.
We love you, just not here.
Exactly.
We love you, just not here.
Yeah.
So what's your website? Everybody can find it.
Socksplace.com, SOXPLACE.com.
So I love what you do here. Thanks for having me
Mark.
here. Yeah.
Thanks, my friend. Yeah. Bye.
Go ahead.